K-pop has been full of scandals since its very early days, and while most of them have everyone talking, not all have quite made it to the mainstream. Some of the biggest and most shocking controversies have actually been very well hidden or even forgotten by many. One of the most recent shocking incidents has been TEMPEST's Hwarang's removal from the group following a simple club scandal. What made the situation even more surprising is not just the nature of the issue, but how it unfolded and the double standards that many believe surrounded it. The controversy began when, during a video fan call, a fan directly questioned him about being seen at a club with other fourth-generation idols. Rather than denying it or dodging the question, Hwarang admitted he had gone clubbing but was quick to emphasize that he hadn't engaged in any inappropriate behavior. However, despite his honesty, things only seemed to get worse. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more dramatic K-pop moments, and don't forget to leave a comment down below telling us your opinion on these career-ending moments. Following the backlash, Hwarang issued an official apology acknowledging the disappointment he may have caused fans. But instead of the matter ending there, TEMPEST's company announced that Hwarang would be suspending activities. Months later, in August 2024, the company confirmed that Hwarang was leaving the group permanently, citing his inability to restore trust during internal discussions. Not only was this extremely shocking news, but the company's use of the phrase "unable to restore trust" set off a wave of speculation and confusion. Fans across platforms questioned what Hwarang could have said or done during these discussions that led to such a harsh outcome. Many noted that idols being spotted in clubs isn't new and usually leads to temporary criticism at most, but never a career-ending fallout. In fact, it was even speculated that other idols had also been present at the same club, but none faced the same level of scrutiny or consequences, as they, in turn, never acknowledged or apologized for what they did. Ironically, some fans believe Hwarang's honesty may have worked against him. By confirming his presence, he gave critics and his company something concrete to react to. Meanwhile, other idols who stayed silent seem to have walked away completely unscathed. While the whole situation is still very confusing to many, the fallout of it actually makes it one of the most serious scandals to date, despite so few people ever talking about it. The scandals surrounding the early 2000s are definitely almost unimaginable to happen today, which is also why many of them seem to have been completely forgotten. Another extremely serious case happened to Baek Ji Young, an extremely up-and-coming soloist. Debuting in 1999, Ji Young quickly rose to fame with her courageous self-expression and earned the attention and criticism of a society still struggling to balance traditional values with a rapidly modernizing pop culture. But in the early 2000s, her ascent was violently derailed by a betrayal that shocked the nation. At the height of her fame, Ji Young became the victim of a massive invasion of privacy when an explicit tape secretly recorded by her then producer without her consent was leaked online. The footage, which showed her in a vulnerable and explicit situation, rapidly spread across the internet at unprecedented speed. Fans tried to fight back, attempting to shut down websites hosting the video, but the damage was already done as thousands of downloads were happening every single day. Even back then, the spread of the video was unbelievable considering the era of digital distribution was still very new. At the time, this wasn't just a scandal, it was a cultural crisis. Rather than seeing Ji Young as the victim, the media seemed to focus on her morality, with many pointing fingers at what they called the growing influence of Western values corrupting Korean youth. Commentators and citizens both expressed discomfort and outrage, not at the invasion of privacy or the producer's betrayal, but at the very existence of the tape. Ji Young initially denied her involvement and fled from the spotlight, later returning to hold a tearful press conference where she apologized to the public despite being the victim. And unfortunately, her career was left in ruins as there was nothing she could do against the public values that she had allegedly offended. For years, she disappeared from the mainstream scene, carrying the weight of a scandal she didn't cause. For years, she tried to continue to release her music, but with little to no support, and it wasn't until 2006, when she transitioned to singing ballads as singles and even OSTs, that things started to turn around for her. In fact, her voice became a staple in Korean TV dramas, earning her the title of Ballad Queen. Against all odds, Ji Young reclaimed her place in the industry through sheer talent and perseverance, and she has since become one of K-pop's most inspiring survivors. In the early days of K-pop, dating rumors could destroy careers overnight, and few groups understand that better than V.O.X, one of the first-generation girl groups that rose to fame in the late 90s. Debuting in 1997 under DR Entertainment, the group was modeled after both Western pop icons like the Spice Girls and local legends like H.O.T., earning them the nickname the female H.O.T. Despite a rocky start, V.O.X eventually found success with their third album and a hip-hop comeback that earned them their first music show win. But just as their popularity peaked, a dating scandal between member Kim Hee-z, also known as Mi-yoon, and HOT's Moon Hee-jun sent the group's career into a downward spiral. While both idols firmly denied dating, saying they only saw each other at music shows, the rumors were more than enough to ignite a vicious backlash. At the time, HOT was arguably the biggest boy band in South Korea, and their fan base was highly protective, especially if it involved any other female idol they saw getting close to their members. Almost overnight, Baby V.O.X found themselves the target of relentless torment from fans of HOT, and what began with torn posters and negative chants escalated into quite a few dangerous confrontations. Eggs and garbage were thrown at them during performances, and fan mail laced with razor blades was sent to their dorm. Mi-yoon was even physically injured by one of the letters, which cut her hand. Another member, Eun-jin, was horrified to receive an animal carcass as a gift at a fan meeting. However, the most alarming incident involved the youngest member, Yoon Eun-hye, who was just 15 at the time. A person disguised as a staff member sprayed a mixture of soy sauce, vinegar, and red pepper into her eyes, causing corneal damage that required hospital treatment and even resulted in her having to promote with an eye patch. Although the group continued for a time, the constant hostility took a toll, and Eun-jin eventually left the group due to the emotional and physical strain, something which the remaining members fully supported. Baby V.O.X would later face further trouble due to an unrelated sampling scandal which led to the group walking away, but the toxic aftermath of the dating rumors played a significant role in their disbandment. Even years later, the girls still seem to have nightmares about that time of their lives, despite all going on to have successful solo careers. Tiger J.K., one of Korea's most influential hip-hop pioneers and the frontman of Drunken Tiger, also faced a major career-altering incident in 2000 due to allegations surrounding the misuse of substances. Not only was the situation incredibly shocking, but it also came with terrible timing, as just a month after releasing Drunken Tiger's second album, The Great Birth, Tiger J.K. was arrested and charged under a Substance Use Act. Things escalated because of testimonies made by the hip-hop co-ed group Uptown's member Steve Kim and Carlos Galvan, who had been caught for substance-related issues themselves. They then claimed that Tiger J.K. and fellow Uptown member Yoon Mi-rae, who were also dating at the time, had joined them in using illicit substances on multiple occasions in Korea, which is why the investigation turned to him. However, what complicated things and seemed to point towards Tiger J.K.'s innocence was the fact that he actually wasn't even in Korea at the time the allegations surfaced. Then, despite the negative results on both urine and hair follicle tests, he was still detained. This unexpected turn of events shocked both Tiger J.K. and the public, who were in an uproar over the facts. In an interview with Spin magazine in 2000, he recounted the disbelief of seeing his and Yoon Mi-rae's faces plastered across TV broadcasts as if they were fugitives, saying, "I wasn't even convicted yet, but I was reported as being the main provider." Unfortunately, things seemed to get worse before they got better, as Tiger J.K. spent roughly 36 days in jail, followed by 2 years of probation after the accusations were made against him. Though no physical evidence was ever found linking him to substance misuse, the damage was already done, and public broadcasting networks even banned Drunken Tiger from appearing on television, further isolating the group from the mainstream music scene. Fortunately, the ban was eventually lifted in 2001, but the incident left a deep mark on Tiger J.K.'s reputation, which only made things harder for his career. During this time, his girlfriend Yoon Mi-rae stayed largely out of the public eye, and many believe that the false accusations and public scrutiny played a significant role in her decision to eventually leave the group and pursue a solo career. Meanwhile, the scandal led to the disbandment of Uptown, with the original accusers, Carlos and Steve, being deported back to the US. However, while everything was going down, fans of Tiger J.K. never stopped trying to clear his name, and even those close to him were doing their best to turn the public around. Tiger J.K.'s father, the late music critic So Byung-hoo, and loyal fans even organized protest rallies to defend his son's innocence. A fellow artist and friend, Mickey Eyes, also released a track titled Free J.K. in support. Ironically, some misinterpreted the track as being affiliated with the famous Wu-Tang Clan due to the involvement of Wu Fam artists, misinformation that still seems to travel around the internet to this day. Luckily, despite the ordeal, Tiger J.K. managed to return to the scene stronger than ever, and in 2001, he released Drunken Tiger's third album, The Legend of, proving to everyone that he wouldn't let himself be taken down easily.